you know me, you know I always like to start with an intention. So the intention that we can think of today in our class is imagine emotions as having different kind of frequencies, different vibrations. So when we're at a low frequency emotion, we don't feel very good. We don't really want to get out of bed. We just kind of want to stay there. And when we have a higher frequency emotion, we feel much more blissful. We're able to go, serve others. We're able to be happy and spread some joy around. So the idea in our class today is through all that we're doing, physical, mental, emotional, all the stretching, all the strengthening, imagine that the biggest thing overall, the biggest thing we're trying to do is just help our body feel better so that we can raise our frequency up a little bit higher. And that way we're kind of like uplifting ourselves to make it so that we can be a better community member. So with that idea to get us started, let's do some of our nice initial stretches. So take the arms all the way, stretching to that back wall. Let the shoulders wiggle to the right. Shoulders to the left. We'll take it another time or two to each direction, just working through some of that tension that might be right in the shoulder area. Good. As we return down even onto our spine, let's take our right knee, start to hug it into our chest. Feel the front of the hip flexor, notice how it's doing. This right foot to the back left edge. Once you got the heel hooked, slide the shin in so it's like a pigeon pose while we're laying on our backs. Right heel to clear over that back left edge. Hug the shin in, give it a couple more breaths. Take a huge inhale. Exhale. Free out this right leg, drop it down. Hug around left knee, bring that within the chest. Give it a nice hug, pull it in. Sooner or later, when you're ready, leg up to the sky, hamstring stretch. Another inhale. Exhale. Hook the heel on the back right part now. Once you got the heel hooked, slide the shin in. That's a good. Love doing these initial stretches, just giving the major muscle groups of the body a first chance to check in. How are they doing? Good. Take another inhale. Exhale, free out the leg. Maybe a tug up to the sky. And when you drop it down, we're going to come up to sit. So feet kick free off the front. We're sitting up. Let's do our first inversion. Put the thumbs on the back end. You're pushing the fabric to about the back side of the front line. Then lean halfway back, hands grip back on. Last step once you're here, as you continue to lean back, legs go wide. That'll make sure you don't fall out. Wrap your feet. keep the knees bent though, so it's kind of like swiveling open. Those that are focusing on shoulders today, you have a couple of options here. For instance, you could clasp hands behind your back, a nice shoulder stretch behind. You could walk one hand to top of that, one hand to back of that. Got a couple of options. That'll be more secure. Yes. Good. So the rule with inversions, some people can tolerate them much longer than others. So don't feel like you're in a competition with anybody else. This is just you listening to your body. Sometimes people will even adjust, make a little tiny adjustment, and then suddenly everything feels awesome. So just do what you need to do to be comfortable. Wrap on one of your feet when you're ready. Are you feet up or hanging still? Get this. So come all the way out to readjust that. Unwind the feet. And this time just push it a bit lower before you go into it. Okay. You lean halfway back, that's where you can unlock it where you want it to be. Yeah, I would still cover your glutes though. This one you'll kind of slip out otherwise. Yeah, there you go. Yep. And wrap your legs. And oh, this way. That's the way. Okay. Oh, let's. On the feet. Beautiful. So the restorative pose we do when we come out of this inversion is keep your elbows, just letting the shoulder face forward, floating child. Give your head a couple of good breaths to get used to this orientation again. Beautiful. So from here, step both heels back into the fabric, legs long. Then we're going to take a nice forward fold over our two straight legs. So hands dive into the center, just reach for your feet. You'll notice because the hips are the heaviest point, the knees will be naturally a little bit bent. That's fine. That can actually feel really nice for the low back. If anybody's trying to work more on the hamstrings though, you can focus on trying to straighten the legs a bit more. So it's personal preference at that point. We'll take a nice little twist here. This will start to ease us into the shoulders a bit more. So take the left leg very straight. Right knee can be bent a little bit. Right hand tries to reach for that left foot or left ankle, calf area, wherever you can reach. So from that grip, left leg straight, right hand gripping, take the left hand up to the sky and reach it all the way to that back wall. You can play with how the hand is oriented into until you feel the good shoulder stretch. So sometimes I'll rotate my thumb open and back, and that feels good. Other times I'll kind of rotate it down with my thumb. So just play with it. Feel what part of your shoulder needs the focus. Good, and then circle the left hand to return all the way forward. Switch it out. So now we've got the left hand grabbing onto the right foot area, right leg is straight, right hand reaches up to sky and circles back. Play with this shoulder, maybe rotating down and around or open and back. Find a good spot to breathe. One more inhale. Exhale, return the hand. From here, slide the heels closer to the glutes, the knees going out as wide as the fabric can allow it. And then dive the shoulders all the way past the front end of the fabric. That'll kind of make it so the fabric's stuck right there. Good. So from this really curled in shape, let's dip the head down, clasp the hands together, and take the hands behind the back of the head nice and gentle. Get that stretch to the upper back area. Keep inhale, exhale, release hands, roll the head up, and once we're up, kick the feet off the front again. Good. So you're gonna bunch up the end of the fabric that will face you inward towards the center of the room, toward me right here. So some of us will be left, some of us right. When you've got it bunched up, lock your arms straight. That'll lift up your hip a little bit. That'll give you some space to take that leg up and over. Good. So once you're over, take both legs inside. And we're doing a nice wide straddle shape. Good. Try to engage your core, sitting up tall. Engage your arm strength, pressing the legs open, nice and wide. Beautiful. Let's slide our right hand down the right leg. Left hand is going to circle up and over. Try to make sure left leg isn't just being lazy. It's not just kind of falling into the center. Try to keep it active and open. Good, sitting up. And slide left hand down left leg, right hand up and over. Rising up, let the bottoms of feet touch together for a moment, wrapping ourselves up with a healthy food. So for a couple of breaths, think of the funnest or happiest moment, one of those happy moments of your life. Kind of return yourself back to that time, that space. Using a memory, kind of bring us right back toward an amazing emotional state of feeling. That emotion, let's take 3 more relaxing breaths right here. Do your 3rd breath. Spread the legs open again, feel that beautiful stretch. Let's pick each foot free off of its end. Dangling right back down at the knees. Beautiful. Taking some nice hip openers. What we're going to do first is take your leg that's closer to the mirror. That ankle comes up onto the fabric that's in front of you. Good, this one's gonna be a hip opener. If it's too much, lock your arms straight, lean back, that'll make it easier. If you want more for that hip, hug around and lean forward. Bunching the fabric up. You're gonna stamp that foot directly into the bunch of fabric, twist it out, and slide the leg up as much as your hamstring will allow. Same thing, if you lock your arm straight, it makes it easier. If you start to loosen away from that, even leaning forward into the leg, it makes it much deeper. It's your choice how far to take it. More inhale. Exhale, free this leg all the way down. So second, calf ankles area up. Remember, you can push, lean forward, hugging it, up to you. Inhale, exhale, stamp this foot directly into the fabric and try to slide it up. Another breath in. Out. Free this leg to the mirror side, facing this back forward. Do a little shift to get your hips forward. Good, and let's try out our second inversion. Vampire, those of you that know it, go ahead and go on into it. Those of you that's new, I want you to watch first, and then I'll guide you through it one more time. So this one's like a shoulder stand. You're trying to take the fabric that's behind you and completely do a cap sleeve cover for you, because that'll be what your weight is carried by. So you'll take all the excess down to the waist, otherwise it kind of like a hook for the neck. And then I just bunched up a bunch extra at my waist. So to get that out, I would step my feet in, lift my hips, and then straightening the legs takes all the excess out. From there, last step, I grip up high, left and right. I lift my feet up, and I push out. So it's not a wrapping. It's this little notch after my heel, trying to push out. I'm active with my core, rise up with my shoulders down, okay? So thin layer of fabric to cover the shoulder. Not too much extra, kind of like the last inversion, but you get way too much, it doesn't feel so good. So just enough to be like a cap sleeve. And then your elbows push all the excess to your waist as you lay back. Good. You got it. Okay, so once feet step in, lift up the hips and then straighten the legs out. That'll take the excess down. Sometimes you have to do it 2 or 3 times to get to that point where it's just enough to cover your shoulders and not too much extra. Good. Okay, so hands left and right when you're there. Nice easy grip up high. Hike the feet up to sky. And then push the feet out. So that spot that you just gathered up. Good. Just like that, the toes turn out to lock you in place. Not a heel wrap. This is just like that. It's no competition for how long you stay in the inversion. It's how long your body needs it. When you're ready to come down, you're welcome to rest for a little while, Shavasana, or you can come right up to sit and hook your elbows, floating child again. Either way, it's fine. Whatever our body needs to kind of orient itself the other way again, and flipping our blood pressure around. So your way to let me know that you're pretty good with the recovery is by sitting up, kind of indicating to me, you know, I'm feeling good, I think I'm ready to move on. There's never a rush. Sometimes people need just a little bit of extra time, so no rush if you still need a little bit longer. Checking in with our body, make sure everything still feels happy, helpful. Sooner or later, if you feel safe to come out, the way we come out, lunge up the fabric, lift your hips right up and out. That prevents a little face dive since your feet can't touch the floor. Awesome. Let's do a tad of arm strengthening. So the hands, the fabric's still over our shoulders, the hands circle around and up. For this first one, don't circle too high. Higher will make it harder. So just circle around and up. Maybe a second wrap can be useful. And all we have to do is, every time we are ready to come up, we circle the hands in, try to lift both knees. If that's too much, just lift one knee at a time. And then we give our fingers a little break, circling back over. Okay? So I'm gonna do a countdown of 10. Not everybody's gonna be able to do all 10, that's okay. Circle in and rise. Inhale, give it a break. Good, circle in, 9. Perfect. 8. 7. Try to keep it as soft of a landing as possible. 5. 4. And 3. 2. And 1. Awesome efforts. Unwind the hands. You're going to keep your elbows bent to hook the fabric, and then we're coming down to knee. So from here, just leaning forward, we'll start to squeeze the shoulder blades closer, getting up front of shoulder stretch area. If anybody wants more, you could continue to bring the hips forward like a kneeling plank, but that does increase that pressure across the skin, so don't feel you have to. So only as much weight as you want. You bring your weight of your hips over your knees. Start to reach up and see if each hand can grab onto each end of fabric. Kind of a funky backwards grip. Just like that. Good. And this is one where grip strength will vary from individual to individual. So easiest version, just do that kneeling plank again. Harder is to lift up the knees, holding in a full plank. I'll do a countdown. If you need to drop down sooner, that's okay. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kneel down, free yourself out of fabric, take a little child pose. Rising up, swing your legs out in front of you. Then we're gonna try to get both heels into the middle of the fabric. Toes turned out to lock it in place. Yeah, sometimes it takes a little maneuvering. It's okay. Good. Got it. So with hands resting down, lift the hips up. If this is enough work to just hold this, you can stay. Otherwise, bend the knees out to the side like frog legs, slide the heels in, straighten back out. Here's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Set the hips back down. From here, just kind of let the legs rock left and right a couple of times. That can feel really helpful for the hip and sacrum area. Kind of loosen out the tension that you might feel there. Good. So from here, what we're going to try to do is lifting up the hips, slide the fabric into the knee crease. Sometimes this feels nice to just wag a couple of times too, like even less pressure on the hips. But the big thing we're gonna try to do is to come up by doing a huge crunch. So you crunch up, grab the fabric, walk the hands up a couple of times, and then shift it to a sweep. Good, and then come out the front end. Yeah, it's pretty intense on the knees, so if you have fabric to kind of cover up that area, it helps. But if you need to just come up too, that's perfectly fine. Good. Awesome efforts. So let's bring the fabric around in front for a moment. Take the grip as wide as your shoulders can. And what we're gonna do is just nice, easy rotation. So both arms go to the right as far as possible and to the left. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Slide the hands to be about shoulder distance. And start to lean forward at the hips. Huge stretch for the legs. That spot that got that massage by the knee, we're pulling that spot long. Like a deep tissue massage, sometimes what we get in area. Good. So bending the right elbow down, it points to the ground. And your left arm starts to swing over to the front door until you've got a really good side body shoulder stretch. Good. Straighten both arms forward. Left elbow bends to point down. And swing over to the back. Knees and feet just do whatever they need to do to be comfortable. Good work. Turning back forward. Bend the knees. Let's roll our spine up. Let's take fabric across the front of the hips, making sure it stays on the hip bones. If it gets in the guts, it's much more uncomfortable. So from here, walk up to the top to take all the slack out of the fabric. And then drop the hands to the floor. Make sure it's still stayed on the bones. As we walk our feet back, keep the hands under shoulders. 5 times we're gonna lift both legs up and down. So when you're ready, both legs up. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and then bend the knees. This is our hip hang. So just kind of relaxing the spine down. Sometimes I stay with my hands on the ground the whole time. Sometimes I do a little hug around my shins. This is one that does get the massage across the front of hips, so that'll probably be our limiting factor. Whenever that gets too intense, just start to drop the feet down and walk forward. If you can breathe through it just a little longer, it tends to give it that deep massage that gets better and better each time you come in. So same as before, no rush to come out, but when you're ready, just walk your feet forward until they can be flat. Slowly roll your head up. And then you'll take the fabric behind you to just lean back and rest for a moment. One of my favorite things to do is take my hands behind my head. It's gonna be easy, lean back. And then as I bend my right knee, I take a lateral lean to that right side, so right elbow to right knee. And then straightening the leg brings me back up. And I'll switch. That can feel nice to kind of full length to that area that got the massage a moment ago. Good, and back through the center. Let's clasp our hands behind our back and try to pull the hands as far back away from glutes as you can. Good. Hands release. Take a step or so back so your weight is almost in your feet. And then cross your right arm to the left side and then left arm to the right side. Once you're there, stand up on your own. And then as you lean forward, each hand will go off to the opposite side. That should create extra space in between shoulder blades. You're not leaning forward to get it to slip off your shoulders, but you're just leaning forward enough that the arms can spread to each direction. Good, come up, lean back, circle the arms up and out. Good, so you rise back up. This time we've got left arm first and then right. Lean up, lean forward. Good, lean back, circle out. And then walk forward, pretty much under plumb line. Starting with the thumbs down grip, grab onto the fabric just a little bit wider than your shoulders. And then as you straighten the spine up, you'll lean back just a couple of inches. And it should do a gentle stretch of the front of your shoulders. Good, coming up. Switch the grip, thumbs up grip, or if you did thumbs up before, do thumbs down. And that same thing, lean back just a couple of inches. Good, coming back up. Let's take the fabric out in front of us. We're gonna take our right foot and slip it just past the heel. This one's a kind of a first stretch for hamstrings. So some people have super tight hamstrings. You'll just slide your hands down. That would take the heart closer to the thigh. If you want to try a bit more, you can go to splits by sliding up and then sinking some weight forward. Up to you how deep to take it. Inhale, exhale. Weight comes over standing leg, torso up. Left hand grabs the right side or pushes on right side. Right arm opens up behind. If you can get the front leg to cross to the left, that'll get you into the IT down as well. Good, gripping forward. Grab both hands just on the left side. Swivel the standing toes to the left. And then continue to slide left hand up, right hand down. This one's a triangle pose. If this is enough stretch, stay. If you want to sink more weight forward, take it to side splits. Squeeze inner thighs together to come back. Face forward. Let's slip up to stand on the bunched up fabric. We're gonna try for 5 pull-ups, so hands grip up high. If you keep the knee bent, you'll use the legs to help you. If you straighten the legs, it'll be more arms. So you get to choose. We're gonna go up and down 5 times. So take an inhale, prep. Exhale, come up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. You need to reset your foot, that's fine. We're gonna come up to stay this time, taking tree pose. So this time, try to minimize the swing so you're not swinging that crazy. So use your core, use your leg strength, come up, wrap the left leg around from behind. Good. And then the left hand is gonna have to be the one that comes forward. It doesn't feel that comfortable to get there, but once you're there, you're super stable, you can stay. Once you're there too, if you want to slip the foot higher, that's fine. So this one's a massage, just like we've been doing a couple of times through class. This one's massage for the standing foot. That's it, yep. Good, so if it gets too intense, you can drop down early. We're gonna try to aim for 3 more breaths if we're doing okay. Inhale, exhale, right hand grips for safety. Left hand grabs as soon as it can. Gentle lower from behind. Good, slip it back past the ankle. Give that right foot a couple of little rolls. Good, we're gonna turn through the left side, doing a complete 180, bend the knee. Right behind us, we're gripping over each shoulder. Yep, so keep the foot, just turn through the side. You'll be going through the left side to turn around. Yep, that's it. Just bend the knee down, you got it, that's it. Good, grip over each shoulder, nice and easy. Then from here, quad stretch, leaning back. So you put your shoulders on the fabric, you lean your weight back. Take your weight back over standing leg. We're going to try to hold in a lunge for a count of 10. So if you need to grip from under, that nice low grip. Otherwise, balance with hands up to each side. Kick out to the lunge and try to hold both knees bent. Good. Holding 5 or 9, I guess I told you 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop hands to floor, straighten the legs, and walk back to a bonus little split. The further we walk the hands backwards, the deeper. Okay. Walk hands to the opposite side of the mat. You're going to down dog, then shake your foot out of the fabric. Bring hands to feet or feet to hands, and then roll your way up. One more side of that. Good. So facing back forward, left foot in. Either slide heart down or slide hands up, splits. Good catch. If you hop a little bit forward, you'll be closer to the line. Yeah, no. Okay, rising up. Twist. So right hand either grabs left or pushes on left. Try to get that leg to go over toward the top right corner of mat and then open up the other arm behind. Good. Turn forward. Grip on the right side, open toes to the right. Slide the right hand up, left hand down. You want to sink more weight forward, go right. Okay. Weight back. Grip one hand on each side, face forward. Step the foot onto the fabric. Knee bent or knee straight, up to you. Grip up high, inhale back. Exhale going up, 5, 4, and 3, 2, 1. That bonus time to get up, try to minimize swing. Nice and slow. From behind, wrap the right side. And right shoulder is the funky one that needs to go forward. Maybe the foot wants to go higher. Breathe through that bottom arch, a couple of good cycles. Three more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Left hand for safety. And right grabs as soon as it can. Step down safely. Put it back past the heel. This one you're going to be turning to the right side to bend the knee down, face the other direction. One hand can grip up high over each shoulder and then just lean backwards into the fabric, quad stretch. One last split. Weight back over standing leg. Drop hands safely to the floor. Straighten both legs. And walk the hands back like a tripod as far as it is. Good. Come out, walk your hands forward until you're down dog. Shake the left foot out. Right, then in forward fold. Either walk feet to hands or hands to feet. Easy rolling up. And from here, we're about that time for Shavasana. If you know that your body needs a last stretch or two, whatever you need to do, go ahead and take it. If you're ready for Shavasana already, you can either do a Shavasana laying on the floor or back inside the fabric, just like we started. So remember, every step we did to get into it, you'll wave it out. Turn around, hook thumbs. About 5 grips. And if you're ready, go ahead and head right on in. Feel your body weightless. Even kind of imagine your emotions as kind of weightless. It's like this infinite quality. It's like we've lifted ourselves up much higher, had much more fun, had joy, maybe even bliss through some parts of stretching through class today. So just feel your body having received all these tremendous benefits. Now just getting to integrate them. All you have to do is breathe. Be here for several more minutes. Just get to relax. Just keep that breath flowing nice. We'll take the next couple of minutes to slowly come back to our body. So sometimes I'll just start off with a couple of really good deep breaths. Introducing little movements to fingers and toes. Maybe stretching the arms to the back wall. The shoulders go left and right a few times. Sometimes it's fun to take a fetal position, so you keep the body long. You rock over onto one side body, so one hip steps on top of the other. And from that side body position, you can curl in like a tight little ball. And then you can arc your spine back, almost like a cat-cow sensation. Helping the spine to ease its way back to movement. Sometimes I'll take 2 or 3 of these to this hip direction. Eventually I'll flip around to the other hip. To balance the spine. The body feels pretty balanced, pretty good at that point. Return to your back and start working your way back up to sit. Here with hands together in front of our heart, we take a moment to reconnect to our intention. That idea of having used this practice to lift us up to a totally different vibrational state. So as we leave, we're more able to be kind and compassionate, to have service, to lift people up, or even just to focus on that good old self-care. So with this idea, this feeling good to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, and happiness, and peace. Namaste.
Namaste.